Well, good start, strong finish.
Yeah.
Between, probably they're the better. Would you agree with that?
I would agree. I think first half they had a lot of territory, but I always felt, obviously, the way we research the opposition, you know what I mean, we know their strengths and weaknesses, and often expectation of a league position or the fact that we're expected to win because we're at home can make it feel actually worse than it is. So I always felt like we had opportunities to break. Today, in my opinion, it was just the difference was, or where we could have improved, was that final pass, because their line was very, very high. We had some great opportunities just to lift the ball over the back line, runners that are in, even the one where Famara lobbed the keeper is onside. And we just fail on that element. You know what I mean? That is a little touch of sparkle, a little bit of genius. The boys are working their socks off, as you see, against a very good side. And this championship is brilliant. It's bloody tough. And every single team, look at the results today. Do you know what I mean? Now, on a positive, it's 6 unbeaten. Yeah. And we want to beat Rotherham. Do you know what I mean? We know we need to up our home form a little bit. Do you know what I mean? There's no hiding from that. And there's no hiding from the fact that the last 3 games we've conceded poor goals in the final goal that's led to the draw. But at Derby, if somebody picks the ball up, beats 3 players and sticks it in the top corner from 25 yards, sometimes you've got to hold your hands up. But all these 3 goals, the Norwich one, the Derby one and this one, has been defendable. And we've got to improve at that. We talk about steel. We need a little bit more steel and a little bit more sparkle. And if we get both of those right, we'll go on and win games very, very comfortably. We might be able to get that in January. We might not. If we have to promote it from within, absolutely no problem. I think we've already done that with the likes of O'Dowda's performances of late and Patterson's performances of late and Jeju. So we get the boys that we've got going. Good to get Matty Taylor back fit today because he's been 3 or 4 weeks out with a groin strain. He literally hasn't trained. He's trained 1 day, so fair play to him to getting out there and putting a shift in the last 20 minutes. And there's a lot of positives, you know. Some people will go home with the glass half full and others will go home glass half empty. And I think Saturday, is it Saturday? Because my days go with the Christmas period. Obviously becomes a good game for us because it's another home game. And the challenge is not to create an anxiety in the performance and within the crowd to go and give the boys an opportunity to go and get a result, you know. That confidence, we know we're a confidence team. We've got to continue to give confidence to the players.
One player you did know about was Mopé, who scored the goal. Can't say you didn't know about him. And so what did you put the goal down to? I mean, it was a good finish from his point of view, obviously.
Well, the action started, we kicked the ball out of play, and then they had 2 throw-ins, worked the line, and then we lost a runner, which is the worst part of it. But we didn't adjust to losing the runner, which is the second poor point. And then the third bit is we've let him come across us very easily. He's very sharp and he can technically execute things extremely well. He must be up there with the top scorers. What was he, 14 goals 15, or something? Yeah. 15 goals, you know what I mean? So, yeah, listen, if we could have him, we'd take him.
Well, 22, 22, they're going to get a bit of interest, aren't they?
Yeah, of course, yeah. And he's got a bit of bite to him as well. But listen, we've got good players as well, and Jeju's on the back of scoring 3 and an assist. So,
he was a threat today, wasn't he?
He was. I mean, the glancing header was a great chance. Like that was the big chance I thought of the half. Yeah, the volley was not easy to execute, but could have hit the target. But the header from Patterson's ball was a really big chance, given how good he is at getting across people. So, I think I said to the lads there, look, there's so many good parts to our performances, and they're working their socks off. You know what I mean? And what we can't do is let expectation defeat us, if you know what I mean, and lack, and so not lack, but kill off the players' confidence. And we are where we are, in my opinion, and that's on the verge of doing all right. And like I say, if we can manage to get a win on the Saturday game, it's a fantastic spell of results for us.
The expectation to be even bigger on Saturday, won't it?
Yeah, but you got to control the controllables. You know what I mean? Whether it be me as a manager or the players as individuals, they got to enjoy it. They got to enjoy playing at home. I thought the singing section was superb today in the way they kept going. And like I say, we are where we are at the moment, but we can be really a powerful force in this division with a couple of little tweaks, both in terms of lads coming into form and coming back to form, and a potential signing or two.
You've got some targets, specific targets in mind?
Yeah, but it's a really difficult market. That's not, you know what I mean? We've got good players anyway, don't forget, and they've got to be affordable, accessible and available. You know what I mean? And actually, for us and our resources, there's a very, very small pool for that are better than what we've got and that are available. And by the way, they're probably expensive. Do you know what I mean? So we've got to get that balance, and we've got to make sure that we do what's right by the club.
If you had to go with this squad for the rest of the season, you'd be reasonably happy?
Yeah, I would be happy, yeah. I do think we need a couple of, like I say, bits of help, because I think a couple of bits of help brings other people's games out. Do you know what I mean? Even more. I think if a good player makes other players great, you know what I mean? And that's important. That's what can be the difference often. And
would you look at loans?
Yeah, I think you have to look at loans. I think, like I say, the market is so fine that you've got to look at anything that presents itself. But the important thing is that whoever comes in is committed to Bristol City, whether it be short term or long term.
Lee, have you seen your goal? Was it his goal? Was it an own goal?
I haven't seen it, mate, but I know they're claiming it. Pisano's claiming it, but he's Italian, so...
well, we don't blame him.
They claim anything.
His first goal for the
club. So it was going wide,
exactly.
He said you can have it, but I mean, I just wanted to see if you'd seen it.
No, I haven't seen it, but to be honest, it's important that it's good that he scored that goal, because like when he played for Verona, part of the reason was that we took him was that he could score goals, and he's brave and he's aggressive when he goes in the box. I certainly wouldn't want to mark him. So I know it's fell to him today, but that is something that he should be getting 3 or 4 goals for sure.
Yeah. Lee, just wanted to ask about Lloyd Kelly against Ollie Watkins down that flank. It was a really good duel between those two, I thought. What
Yeah. Well, I think they're 2 great young players. You know, I really like Ollie Watkins, and we was very interested in him when Brentford got him instead of us. But Lloyd Kelly, I mean, there was that one sprint, wasn't there, that Lloydie put the afterburners on and got there. They were both at full speed. I think we've got to remember how young Lloydie is and how early into his career. He didn't have the best of games today, but it was like he had some really good actions, and then he had some not very good actions. And one thing I felt, and I tried to adjust at half-time, was the opposition's line was so high. We were turning down opportunities just to leave the ball over the back line. And Lloyd sometimes, don't forget, he's half been trained as a centre-half as well. Do you know what I mean? So he's not instinctive when it comes to playing forward, even though he's so composed. Actually, he's not a player that's got unbelievable vision. He likes the game in front of him. But you see, even today where he didn't have his best game, you see the quality and you see the athleticism and you see the potential. So the big thing for him will be keeping his feet on the ground, because there's a lot of speculation and people are writing articles all over the shop. Some are true, some are not true. And do you know what I mean? It's tough for it. I've been in that situation myself, probably not with the level of clubs, but I know how hard it is, because you think, oh, who's watching me? You're trying to get hold of the scouts list, your agent's telling you someone's coming, your mum and dad or your family are always chipping away and saying, right, come on, the big move's coming. And do you know what I mean? Actually, no, you concentrate on the process, work hard, keep your head down, and he's done great. You know what I mean? He's like, what is he, 20 games into his league career?
Is there
no.
interest in Lloyd?
Well, of course there is, because there's got to be. If you're a Premier League club and you're not looking at Lloyd Kelly, you're not doing your recruitment right. Because he's 20 years old, plays for England, and can play multiple positions. Do you know what I mean? So whether or not somebody pushes the button on it is a completely different matter. But I guarantee you, statistically and with the eye, every single Premier League club would have had a real good look.
And just on Watkins, you liked him previously. Did you
Yeah,
ever seriously consider?
I wanted to try and sign him. Actually, he was the top of the list when we made when we signed Nicholas Eliasson, actually, and I'm not talking out of hand because I spoke to Nicholas, and Nicholas Eliasson knows all about it. But I think at the time the price was sort of hiked a little bit for us, which we didn't like. And I mean, he is a good player, but we've also got other good players, and O'Dowda was in the building as well. Do you know what I mean? Which is somebody that we really believed in. And we go again, boys. And yeah, I mean, we get our head down and we go again.
What day is it?
I've got a game of Monopoly tonight. My 10-year-old little girl.
Is that date, is it? Disappointing to see Baker out again. It's a bit fragile.
I think. Listen, depends how you look at it, doesn't it? You can look at him as a warrior or a bit fragile. I think Bake's at his best. He's up there with anybody in this division. I think the challenge is to keep him at his best and for him to keep himself at his best, both mentally and physically.
Is it a variety of injuries? There seems to be different areas.
Yeah, it's a calf one, yeah. I mean, look, do you know what I mean? It's difficult to judge. You know what I mean? Yeah, what do we want? Simply, we want the best of Nathan Baker, don't we? And we've got a physio department that work their hardest, sports science department that work hardest. If a player gets a calf strain, you know what I mean? You can't question their heart. You question their heart when they get a knock and can't come and don't want to play because they've got a knock. You know what I mean? He's got a hole in his calf. So
the good thing is that even though you sold Flint, you've got options. The two today played okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You've got Bailey Wright obviously coming back.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I think Bailey Wright's character is important. You know what I mean? To keep in the squad, to keep in the team. I'd love to see a sort of fully fit and charged Bailey Wright back in, and I feel like he's getting that way now. So.
Any progress with Corey?
Yeah, Corey's now at least running without assistance from they call it an alter G, which is where they sort of almost sit in a big sling, running a big sling, and then it reduces the percentile of weight they put on. So it starts off at like 90% and then reduces down to 0. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously you're running with full load. So he's out on the grass now, having that sort of run, but he's a long way from being back fit. You're looking at best like sort of Feb, March.
Lovely.
Thank you very much.
Okay, cheers.